ladies and gents. Again, I always preface these messages by saying I'm going to get some brickbats for this one. I probably am for this one. Every time I say that, I've been surprised because people haven't been banging at me or knocking me over as much as I expected. I think they will with this one because I'm going to go for something of what some would class as a national treasure. And I'm going to have a dig at him, I really am. I was going to leave this till later till I had lots of subscribers, but I'm getting there now anyway, so I'll do it now. This has been bothering me till since the channel started. Rod Stewart. Now, before I go in at Rod, let me just say this. I've always quite liked him. Done some great songs, some absolute classic songs. I like some of Rod Stewart's songs. Do I think he's as good as many people tell me he is? No, I don't. Is he one of the best from his generation? To my mind, no, he's not. But he's not bad. But I'll tell you the bits I don't like about him, and then I'll tell you what really, really irks me. So, if you don't stay till the end, you're not going to know. But it's I'll give you clues to do with charity, or charity, as the boys would say on the One Show. But tell you what I've got with Rod. I think he's trying to stay current all the time. He's trying to get in the news all the time. And that concerns me. You don't need to do it if you're good. But I quite like Rod until the time he brought his great American Songbook out when he was singing the classic songs from America. You know, the swing songs, the songs by King Cole and Dino and Frank Sinatra. I thought, and this is only my thoughts, personally, he murdered almost everything he did. The odd one he got away with, but he murdered most of them. I think I seen him on a video on YouTube about 3 months ago. An old thing with, I think it was Aretha Franklin. God, it was horrendous. I've seen him do a lot of horrendous songs on there. I think he got to the stage of his career. I don't know if he writes his own songs or has them written for him. More about that in a moment, and more in particular about his last LP. It's as though things had dried up. Either his writer had left or he never had ideas anymore. So he wanted a way of keeping relevance and getting more songs out there. So I think he did the Songbook, maybe Volume 1 and maybe Volume 2. It was probably... No, it wasn't probably. It was horrendous. For my money, it was awful. I think, as I say, he murdered most songs. Then after a few years away, he came back and he did an LP. Was it last year or the year before? Time flies now. I think it might have been early last year or even the year before. And it was his most personal LP of all time. And it was really relevant to him and his wife, and there was many references as to how in love he is and how much he loves her. Again, she's someone else I'm not that keen on, although she's not done me any harm. A lot probably like her as well. The LP was crap. Absolute and utter tosh. And I mean tosh. I would love to be able to get the words to every song and do a line from each song. That talk about lame writing. It was absolutely horrendous. He was putting every cliche in the book in there. They didn't mean anything. I remember one night seeing him on the Graham Norton show. Oh my God. It was bad. It was like so bad. Yet everyone's telling him he's brilliant. Everyone's saying it's brilliant. On Loose Women, they're on about him all the time, especially when they've got her on his wife. They're all saying how great it is, and she's saying she's so proud of him and he's done a wonderful LP. It was absolute tosh. And all the Rod fans, and I know there's loads of you will jump on at me, I don't care. I mean, I'm just being truthful. He's done some brilliant songs. But they were years ago. He's done nothing relevant of late. Which brings me more into the now. The thing I've got with Rod is this. I mean, I like TalkSport. I'm a regular listener, or was. I tend to listen to the first 5 or 6 minutes now. And if there's anything on there that they're covering that I'm interested in, I'll forward to that. And then more often than not, I'll give an opinion on it, my opinion. There was a time when I used to ring into TalkSport. People that listen to it regularly over the last sort of couple of years will know my voice. You probably think you got rid of me, but you've not, because I'm here now. And I did all right on there. But I remember when he was in the studio about a year ago, old Jim White absolutely adores him. As I say, for a week before he got there, he was forever on about Sir Rod Stewart. The day he was there, it was all about Sir Rod Stewart. And for a week or two after, Sir Rod Stewart. And it was Sir Rod. And it was doing me head in. Because he's been a good entertainer in his time. He's not bad at all. But he's one of them that's very much at his day. Many have. He's very much one of those. But he's been doing this thing of late, this charity thing, and that's the bit that gets to me. That's the bit that really, really gets to me. with charity, I believe the way charity works is you've got lots of money, you're never going to need it all, you cannot take it with you. Even if you give some to your kids, they only need a certain amount. Do something good with your money, that's great. But don't let the world know you're doing it. Why do you have to let the world know you're giving it away? That's not how things work. You get fun out of giving money away, you do. You get into it's good for you, it's good for your soul. But bragging about it and showing off about it isn't a good thing. I mean, we got him about a year and a half ago. He was digging the old potholes, sorting the potholes out near where he lives because his Ferrari or his Lamborghini or whatever was hitting the potholes. He had the high-vis jacket on and he's with the workmen there. He's employed his own workmen. I would imagine he had the high-vis on and was shoveling the hardcore or whatever else for 5 minutes that they took the photographs and filmed this piece. I would imagine as soon as it finished, back in the Lamborghini, Ferrari, back home. I don't know if that's true. We'd have to ask any of the workmen. If any workmen see it was with him, please let me know, did he do more than 5 or 10 minutes? I bet he never. But then we had this thing a few months ago, didn't we? This is the charity bit where he could he not get some scans done on himself because of COVID and lockdowns? He was really upset about it, and what he said he was going to do was he was going to make sure that this hospital in London had plenty of money to do plenty of scans on his behalf. And lo and behold, he gave some money and they did some scans. And no doubt the people were very grateful. What did he do as they were coming in for the scans, you might ask? Oh, well, what he did was he turned up in his roller or his Bentley, all slickered up as he always is, greeting them as they're walking in or as they're walking out, and they're thanking him for giving his money. He's taking the plaudits, and I'm thinking, that's not how charity works. And he announces, and what I'm going to do, it's made me feel good. I can afford it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give some money to all the major cities of Great Britain and let some people have scans on my dollar, on my dime. Which on the face of it sounds really good. Then 2 or 3 months later, because he's not been in the news for 2 or 3 months, he gets himself back on the news. I think he rings into a radio station. And after he rings in, then the TV want to talk to him. He's disappointed because nobody really has got in touch with him from any of these hospitals to ask for his money. He's disappointed. No one's come and asked for anything when he made an offer. He'll have 40 or 50 PAs working on his behalf. He'll have loads of people. If you want to give money away badly enough, charities and what have you, hospitals will accept it. Don't worry about that. All he had to do was get someone to ring every hospital and say, we've got 500 grand here, how many can we do with that? We've got 500 grand, he was probably giving 15 or 20 grand to them all, but we've got 500, what can you do with that? Right, give us the bank account details, we'll have it in your account tomorrow. What hospital's going to say no to that? I'll tell you what hospital, ladies and gents, none. But he had to let you know that they've not been back in touch with him. Chase them down, Rod, give them the money. And what I'll say is this, you've probably got about 300 million. You're known to be tight. You and Elton, when you were talking, were giving gifts to one another. You stopped when Elton's was too expensive. You thought, I don't want to spend what Elton spent, because Elton is the kind that does charity properly. He gives to loads of causes and lots of things. Do you hear about it? Do you hell? He does it without you knowing because he does it the right way. He's got a charitable heart. You like to keep it, Rod. You've always liked to keep it. But when you are giving a bit away, you like everybody to know. That's not how charity works. And I'll give you the last one. Because this happened 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe more now. I'm listening to This Morning. And they're doing a phone-in. And they're having a chat. And it just comes about, they're talking to charity. And one of the presenters says, and we've had, he's not in the studio, but we've had Simon Cowell on. He'd like you to give to this charity. I think, if I remember right, I think it was for a makeup girl, someone in makeup that he worked with that worked on Britain's Got Talent or The X Factor. She needed some special operation. It was going to be in America. And Simon says it's going to cost something like £150,000. He'd love people to give if they can. He's giving £10,000 towards it. I thought, all right. Simon, who at the time had about 370 million, he's always been upset because he's always been behind, what's the other Simon called? The guy that ran, that started off the, not X Factor, the one before that, Pop Idol, and was the boss for Girls, Not Girls Allowed, the other idiots, the Spice Girls. He was the boss for them. I can't think of his name, and I think he went over and maybe started off American Idol. Simon was never upset because he was a good few million behind him. And there's Simon with his 330 million, 370 million, giving £10,000 towards this girl. Now, firstly, he's letting everyone know he's giving £10,000. They were saying on this morning what a great guy he was for doing it. I didn't agree with that at all, as I say. You don't tell people what you're going to do, you just do it. And secondly, he's giving 10,000, that's going to cost 180,000. Why didn't he give the 180,000? He's got 300 million! And he worked with her. Why ask people that have got nothing and no money and not earning lots of money to give when he's got all that? Don't get me wrong, the people will have given, because that's what people in this country are like. They give. They give a lot more per what they've got to these millionaires that have got God knows how much. George Michael, he did it the right way. He rung This Morning or Loose Women or whatever and give to things without you knowing. And he said, if you tell, I'm not going to give anything again. I don't want it to come out. They had to wait till he died for it to come out. That's the way charity works. Well done, George Michael. Not so good, Cowell and Stewart. I don't know. You shouldn't get plaudits and kudos of any kind for giving charitable things, because nobody should know. You should do it because you want to do it. And when you've got that many millions, honestly, you can't take it away with you. Do something with it, but you don't have to tell us all. I've gone on and on and on there. It's not even going to get watched, this. I'm not by that many, but still. As I say, the Rod Stewart people at the start of this will not like me, but I don't care. That's just my thoughts. He did do some good songs, like I've said before. Let me just finish with that.